The Hen and the Hawk, Enchanted Forest Fairy Tale. In the heart of the enchanted forest, where moonlight painted the treetops silver and every breeze carried a song, two unlikely friends lived side by side, Hennora the Hen and Hannah the Hawk. Hannah was known for her hardworking spirit, while Hennora, on the other hand, was infamous for her love of taking long naps and an endless list of excuses to avoid work. But there was one thing they both loved more than anything: music! Especially the deep, heart-pounding sound of a drum. They often played together, tapping sticks on anything they could find: tables, empty cans, water pots, even upside-down buckets, dreaming about the day they'd make the most beautiful drum in the whole forest. This is the tale of their friendship, their music, and the mischief that nearly tore them apart. One golden afternoon, Hannah swooped down to Hennora's garden. "Friend, let's make a drum so grand the whole forest will dance." Hennora's eyes sparkled. "Oh yes, we'll be famous!" And just like that, their plan was born. One morning, Hannah clapped her wings excitedly. "Hennora! Today's the day! Let's go to the forest and get wood for our drum." Hennora put on her best pity face. "Ah, Hannah, I wish I could, but I'm feeling so sick. My feathers are aching, my beak is weak." Hennora coughed dramatically. Hannah frowned with concern. "Oh dear, then just lend me your cutting tools." Hennora shook her head. "Oh, no, all my tools are sick too. They can't even cut a twig, let alone a tree trunk." Hannah blinked in disbelief. "Your tools are sick?" Hennora nodded weakly. Hannah borrowed an axe from their friend Squirrel, who lived nearby, and headed into the forest alone. The next step in making their drum was finding the perfect skin to stretch over the wooden frame. Hannah asked Hennora to join her on this quest, but she came up with another excuse. "Oh, Hannah, I'm allergic to the forest. My feathers get all puffed up, and I start sneezing uncontrollably." Hannah knew better, but didn't push the issue. She went into the forest alone. As soon as Hannah left, Hennora sprang up from her bed, stretched her wings, and let out a joyful cluck. She spent the day lounging in her rocking chair on her porch, sipping chilled lemonade, and taking a leisurely stroll around the village chatting with friends. This became a pattern. Every time Hannah suggested they work on their drum together, Hennora, predictably, would feign sickness. Hannah warned her, "Hennora, if you don't help me make this drum, you won't be allowed to play it when it's done." Hennora nodded and smiled to herself, thinking she could talk her way out of it later. The next day, as expected, she stayed in bed, sick again. So, Hannah built the drum alone. Day after day, she worked, shaping the wood, stretching the hide, tying it with enchanted vines. All the while, Hennora rested. At last, the drum was ready. Boom-ba-boom! The sound echoed through the forest, calling every creature to dance. All the animals came. They danced, stomped, and sang into the night. Hennora? Oh, she danced too. But Hannah warned her. "Touch this drum without my permission, and you'll regret it." Every time she tried to touch the drum, Hannah would give her the look. One evening, while Hannah hunted, Hennora tiptoed to the drum. Boom, 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 rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat, boom, 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 boom. She banged and thumped until the squirrel yelled from next door, "Hey, Hennora, I thought you was sick." Hennora stuck out her tongue and kept drumming. Hannah heard the drum beat and rushed back home. When she arrived, she didn't see anyone playing the drum. This happened several times, and Hannah grew determined to catch the drum thief. One day, Hannah told Hennora she was going to hunt, but hid behind her house instead. As soon as Hannah left, Hennora ran to the drum and started playing it again. Rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat, boom, 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 rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat. Hannah leapt out and pounced on Hennora, catching her red-handed, or red-winged. "Aha! I knew it." Hennora froze, like a chick in the rain. "Oh, Hannah, I can explain. I was only testing it for termites." "I warned you not to touch my drum without permission," Hannah retorted. To avoid punishment, Hennora quickly cried out, Okay, if you forgive me, I'll compensate you." Hannah asked, "What will you give me?" Hennora thought for a moment and said, "I will give you one chick when my eggs hatch, I promise." Hannah narrowed her eyes. Just one chick, eh? Fine. Hennora had just welcomed her little chicks into the world, 12 golden fluff balls that peeped and chirped like tiny bells, when Hannah, who had been watching and waiting, swooped down and croaked, "Good morning, Hennora. What a fine brood you have there. Surely you can spare just one chick?" "Well, do as you said you would do. Be snappy." Hennora's heart sank, but she had promised. Reluctantly, she gave Hannah a chick. Tears stung her eyes as she whispered, "Goodbye, little one." But Hannah wasn't satisfied. A week later, she returned, flapping her wings impatiently. "I'll take another, Hennora," she demanded. This time, Hennora clucked fiercely. "No more. My chicks are mine. If you want them, you'll have to get through me." And from that day on, Hennora vowed to protect her chicks at all costs. Hennora built a little coop in the forest, hidden behind a thicket of bushes. It smelled of wild flowers and pine, and she thought it was safe. Her chicks, however, soon began to complain. "Mama, it's boring in here," chirped the eldest. "We feel so cooped up here, get it?" said the funny one with a grin. The others groaned, but a couple of them couldn't help chuckling. "Ha! Good one," said Hennora, shaking her head. "I want to go outside," squeaked the smallest. "All right," sighed Hennora, "but only under the bushes. Stay hidden." Hennora built scarecrows from twigs, straw, and old clothes. She placed them all around the thicket. They stood like quiet guardians, keeping watch against harm. Of course, chicks are not very good at following rules. One sunny afternoon, they scurried out into the open. Hannah, who had been spying from above, cackled. "Well, well, what do we have here? Lunch?" She swooped down, but wham! Hennora spread her wings and blocked Hannah, sending her flying into the thicket. "Back off, Hannah," she clucked. The chicks cheered. "Go, Mama, go!" "Okay, kids, there's no need staying here anymore. Since this place has been discovered, it's no longer safe. Let's go back home." Hennora packed them all back to the house. Hannah wasn't done. She grew obsessed. She disguised herself under a cloak one night and knocked on Hennora's door. "Who lives here? Just a friendly traveler," she said. Hennora narrowed her eyes. "Nice try, Hannah." "Now scram!" The chicks giggled from behind her. "Nice one, Mama!" Hennora knew Hannah would never give up, so she waddled over to her wise old friend Tortoise. "Tortoise," she said, "I need your help. Hannah won't stop." Tortoise scratched his wrinkly chin. "You must become strong, my dear, stronger than you ever thought possible." "How? I'm just a hen." "Not for long," said Tortoise with a mysterious grin. "We'll train you. I'll call Rabbit to come and help. Meet me tomorrow at sunrise." Their training ground was a hidden meadow filled with soft clover. Rabbit, the fastest creature in the forest, bounced over. "Ready for boot camp, Feathers?" he snickered. Hennora puffed her chest. "Call me Feathers one more time and I'll karate kick you into next week." Rabbit laughed nervously. Noted. Training was tough. Tortoise, a master of defense, went first. "The key to victory, Hennora," he said slowly, tapping his shell, "is the element of surprise and a hard head. Now, tuck and roll." Hennora looked at her feathery body. "Tuck and roll? I'm a hen, not a hedgehog." "But even hens can surprise the world," Tortoise replied gently. "Close your eyes. See yourself as a feathered cannonball. Now, when I say hawk, you tuck." "Hawk," shouted Rabbit. Hennora squawked, flapped her wings in a panic, and ended up in a heap. "We'll call that the flustered chicken maneuver," Rabbit said, twitching his nose. "Very confusing for the enemy." Tortoise taught her patience, balance, and the secret art of karate claw. "Strike like lightning, but guard like stone," he told her. Rabbit made Hennora chase him in circles until her legs were strong. Hennora practiced day and night. She learned the shell shock, a defensive move where she'd duck under her wing just like Tortoise ducked into his shell. Rabbit taught her the bunny bop, a series of surprisingly fast hops that made her a difficult target. She pecked at acorns with lightning speed and practiced her battle cry, which sounded less like a fierce warrior and more like she'd laid a square egg. "It needs more oomph," Rabbit coached. "Try it from the belly." "Buck, buck, baka." She kicked, spun, and even broke sticks with her beak. Finally, she stood tall. "No more clumsy hen. I am Karate Hen." Meanwhile, greedy Hannah was getting impatient. She plotted her biggest heist yet. "Why snatch one when I can take them all at once?" she muttered, sharpening her talons on a rock. "That hen thinks she's so clever, guarding them day and night. Who has that kind of time?" The next afternoon, while Hennora was practicing her Wing Chun karate chops on a sunflower, Hannah put her plan into action. She crept toward the house. The chicks were playing in the garden, completely unaware. She cackled, "All your chicks are mine!" The chicks screamed, "Mama!" Suddenly, a shadow fell over her. "I believe you're in the wrong backyard," a steely voice said. Hannah looked up. It was Hennora, but not the lazy, flustered hen she knew. This Hennora stood tall, her wings held like a karate master, a determined glint in her eye. "Hennora, fancy meeting you here," Hannah said, trying to sound casual. "Just admiring your, lawn." "Save it, Hannah," Hennora clucked. "You've ruffled my feathers for the last time. It's time for a little lesson in henjutsu." Hannah laughed. "Henjutsu? You? Don't make me laugh." "Laugh all you want," said Hennora, eyes blazing. "By the time I'm done, you'll fly. No, run. Out of here, bald as an egg, and laughing backwards through your beak." With a sudden hi-ya, Hennora leapt, spinning in the air, and delivered a karate kick right to Hannah's tail feathers. Pow! "Youch!" squawked Hannah, tumbling head over claw. She tried again, diving straight at the chicks, but Hennora blocked her by zigzagging left, then right, a perfect bunny bop. Hannah swiped at her with her sharp talons. Hennora tucked under her wing, dodging the talon swipe. The shell shock worked perfectly. "You can't hide forever!" Hannah shrieked, lunging again. "Who's hiding?" Hennora said, popping up. She flapped her wings in a dizzying display, kicking up dust and feathers. It was the flustered chicken maneuver, and it was surprisingly effective. Blinded and confused, Hannah swung her wings wildly, but Hennora blocked every strike with wing chops, pecks, and kicks. Finally, she unleashed her secret move, the flying, feathery fury. Whap, whap, whap! Hannah screeched and flew off into the night, feathers falling like confetti. "Buck, buck, buck, ah!" Hennora roared, her voice finally full of oomph. The forest animals cheered. "Hooray for Hennora, the Karate Hen!" Tortoise and Rabbit emerged, clapping slowly. Rabbit winked. "Guess you're not just feathers after all." Tortoise nodded and smiled wisely. "The feathered cannonball returns." "You see, strength comes not from size, but from love." "I'd say she's more of a black belt now," Rabbit added. Hennora gathered her peeping chicks under her wings. From the bushes, "No one will ever take you again, not while I have wings to fight." She puffed out her chest, a true karate chicken, forever the guardian of her fluffy, fearless flock. Weeks later, Hannah came back, looking sorry, and said, "Perhaps I went too far." Hennora nodded. "Perhaps I should have kept my word." Hannah gave a small smile. "Then let's forgive each other." Hennora's feathers ruffled softly as she leaned closer. "Friends again?" "Friends," Hannah agreed. The two friends made amends. They even started playing the drum together again, creating rhythms that brought joy to the entire village. But Hannah never lost her taste for chicks. And so, in every land, hawks still swoop from the sky when they think no hen is watching. Like and subscribe for more stories like this. Thanks.